Okay, am I audible? Am I audible? Good morning. Okay, thank you. So now from the first section, I will start chapter number 2. So it is related to the velocity and acceleration in the mechanism. So in unit number 1, that is simple mechanism, we have studied different mechanisms wherein with respect to the 4-bar mechanism, we have seen that when one link is fixed, we can have a particular constrained motion for particular. So such mechanisms, for such mechanisms, we need to find out velocity and the acceleration for particular link in a mechanism. So syllabus, velocity and acceleration in mechanisms. So for this unit particularly, we are going to refer velocity analysis methods, graphical methods. First one is relative velocity and acceleration and Coriolis component of the acceleration. And second, that is related to the Kleen's construction. So there are various methods, maybe 5 to 6 methods are there, but for our syllabus there are two methods. One is relative velocity and acceleration and Coriolis component for the acceleration, and second one, that is the Kleen's construction. These are the graphical methods with which we are going to determine the velocity and the acceleration for particular point or a link in a mechanism. So now let us see what is significance of the velocity and the acceleration in the mechanism. Am I audible? Ajay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. Okay, so basically for each and every topic you should know why it is required to be studied. So we have seen mechanism. What is mechanism? So it is combination of various components, and that combination is made to have particular task, right? So what we have seen, if one link is fixed, one particular link is fixed, we will get certain relative motion with respect to that fixed link. And the study of motion of various parts of machine, whatever displayed on the screen, is important for determining their velocity and the acceleration. So whatever components, those we have represented with the help of line diagram as seen in the 4-bar chain mechanism or 4-link mechanism, and that represent motion of various parts of the machine, and we need to determine their velocity and the acceleration. So for that reason, we require to study this velocity and acceleration in the mechanism. So you know force. What is the definition of force? So it is just a product of mass into acceleration, right? So mass, it is in the kg, and acceleration meter per second square. So whatever force or whatever dynamic force is function of acceleration dv by dt, and accelerations are functions of the velocity, right? So acceleration is nothing but dv by dt, and what it indicates, it is function of the velocity, in which in the dv by dt we can see that v is for the velocity and t is with respect to the time. Okay, so this may be asked for the MCQ, remember that. Then therefore the velocity and accelerations are useful in design of mechanism. Once we know velocity, we can determine the acceleration. After determining the acceleration, we can put value of that acceleration, and by taking the product of mass into acceleration, we can determine the force, and that force is required to analyze for designing the components, and those components are part of the mechanism. Hence the velocity and the accelerations are useful in design of mechanisms. So simple example you can take, that reciprocating engine, in which piston, crank, connecting rod, these are the link, and that crosshead is nothing but the fixed link. Now for designing, we should know what is the velocity at the joint between the crank and the connecting rod, so that we can determine the acceleration as well as force which will come on the connecting rod. Hence velocity and acceleration are useful in determining the in designing the mechanisms. So already in the previous chapters, previous unit, that is unit number 1, simple mechanism. So we have defined a mechanism as a kinematic chain with one link as a fixed link, right? So what we have seen, if one link of mechanism is given a definite motion, the motion of other links is either completely or successfully constrained. So what we have seen, so just I will draw here. Wait for 1 minute, please. So this is simply a 4-bar mechanism. If this link is fixed and this link this is nothing but one link, it has a definite motion, and the motion of other link is either completely or successfully constrained. So this is the input that we have given to get oscillation for this link. So I will name it 1, 2, 3 and 4. So for this link we have given some definite motion to get oscillation of this link number 4, and that can be considered as successfully constrained. Okay. In other words, each link of mechanism is subjected to definite displacement, velocity and acceleration at particular instant, right? So whatever motion we have provided or motion that is given to that particular link, that is subjected to some displacement, velocity and the acceleration. So acceleration is function of the velocity, velocity is function of the displacement. Those simple things you should remember. Okay, so in this unit we are going to determine velocity, acceleration of link in the mechanism. Okay. So there are various graphical methods used to determine the velocity and acceleration. First one, relative velocity and relative acceleration method, and second one, that is the construction, Kleen's construction. And here one more method we are going to take, that Coriolis component for the acceleration. So take down, write title of the unit in your notebook, right? Velocity, unit number 2, velocity and acceleration in mechanisms. Velocity and acceleration in mechanism. Then immediately, so this chapter is small one, so we'll focus on MCQ as well as graphical method simultaneously. So write down syllabus, velocity and acceleration, velocity and acceleration, velocity and acceleration in mechanism. Second topic, velocity analysis in mechanism. By following graphical methods. By following graphical methods. Number 1. So this is also asked in the MCQ. Number 1, you can write relative velocity and acceleration. And here, comma, Coriolis component of acceleration. And second one, you can write Kleen's construction. Kleen's construction. So very simple method. This Kleen's construction is relatively simple method than the first one. It will take very less time to get the solution. Okay. Then you should write significance of velocity and Ajay, are you writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whatever dictation I am giving, that is important with respect to your campus interview. So you should know what is significance. So those points I am giving. So keep notebook along with you till your campus placement. Significance of velocity and acceleration in mechanism. Okay. So you can write the study of motions. The study of motions of various parts of machine is important for determining their velocity and accelerations. Second point, right? Dynamic forces are functions of acceleration accelerations and accelerations are functions of velocities. So you know acceleration is nothing but rate of change of velocity, dv by dt. And what is velocity? Function of the displacement, that is ds by dt, if we are going to consider s as a displacement. Okay, then you can write hence velocity and acceleration are useful in the design of mechanisms Then you can write introduction right? In the unit number 1 in bracket simple mechanisms bracket complete, we have studied that mechanism is a kinematic chain with one link fixed Second point, you should write point wise. If one link of the mechanism is given a definite motion, the motion of other links is either completely or successfully constrained. This is important. You can write. In other words, each link of the mechanism is subjected to definite displacement comma velocity and acceleration at a particular instant, at a particular instant, at a particular instant. Then below that you can write there are various there are various graphical methods to determine the velocity and accelerations of the links in mechanism Next line you can write number 1. So in book, analytical as well as graphical methods are also given. So instantaneous center, that is one of the graphical method, but that is not for our syllabus. So that's why only whatever for the syllabus, that is included on the slide, and that we are going to write. But you should know that this you can read the books in addition to this. Number 1, relative velocity and relative acceleration method. Relative velocity and relative acceleration method. And next you can write Kleene's construction. Kleene's construction. Kleene's construction. Okay. Next line. Next line. Next line you can write preamble, make colon, and after that you can write fundamental concepts. Fundamental concept. Okay. So what is linear displacement? What is angular displacement? So before proceeding further, you should know that some of the parameters, some of the fundamental concepts related to the velocity and the acceleration, so that you can determine it easily with help of analytical method as well as graphical method. So you should know what is linear displacement, what is angular displacement. Though these definitions you have studied during your diploma curriculum, or some of the students they may have studied at the 12th. Then what is linear velocity? What is angular velocity? Then what is speed and the velocity? This is also important. Then what is linear acceleration? What is angular acceleration? All these fundamental concepts, though simple, but You should remember this. So next line you can write linear displacement and angular displacement. Revannath, are you writing?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Write down linear displacement and angular displacement. Linear displacement and angular displacement. So first you can write linear displacement, linear displacement, linear displacement, linear displacement, linear displacement, and draw this diagram. So those who are drawing, that will be beneficial for that particular student. So I request all the students, so whatever diagram on the which are displayed on the slide, whenever I am requesting, you should draw it in your notebook. So first you can write linear displacement and draw this diagram. This one only. Draw this diagram. Completed. So
Yes, sir.
okay. This is block. Again, this block is having position 2, position 1 and position 2, and this S is nothing but the displacement, right? So what is linear displacement? When a body displaced along straight path, then it is called a linear displacement. So what you are observing here, this is line indicating position 1, and this body is displaced in this direction and has position 2. And what you are observing here, this one is the straight path, right? And this is called as a linear displacement. So if you are drawn the diagram, then write down this definition. Body displaced. So this is the short pointers. So you can write linear displacement is defined as, so that is not required. So additionally during examination you can write when required. Body displaced along a straight path, then it is called a linear displacement. What is displacement? A distance moved by a body with respect to certain fixed point. So this is certain fixed point, right? This one is the certain fixed point. And from this point to this point, so distance moved by a body with respect to certain fixed point. So again, this is nothing but the displacement. Okay. So it is represented graphically by a straight line, like this. So it is a vector quantity as it has both magnitude and the direction. As it has both magnitude and direction. So you have written this point, then write this distance moved by a body with respect to a certain fixed point. And this This one is the third important point. It is a vector quantity and it has both magnitude and the direction. Magnitude and the direction. Okay. Second, you can write angular displacement. Angular displacement. Angular displacement. Draw this diagram. Draw this diagram. You can draw a rough diagram. Completed? Don't invest too much time for drawing such simple diagram. Completed, Ajay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as per this figure, so this is again a circular path. This is body A, and it will have motion along this curved path from this point to this point. It follows curved path. Okay. Initially, it is inclined to this x-axis with the theta, and from this inclination it will have small displacement d theta in a particular time, that is dt. So if body moves in a curved path from this point to this point, that is called as a angular displacement. That is called as a angular displacement. So write down body displaced along a circular path, then it is called as angular displacement. Then it is called angular displacement. Then it is called angular displacement. Angular displacement. So this S is linear displacement and this d theta is nothing but angular displacement. So velocity, so you know V is equal to ds by dt, and angular velocity, this is linear velocity, and angular velocity omega is equal to d theta by dt. So this quantity, this. Okay. So next you can write linear velocity and angular velocity. linear velocity and angular velocity. Please write down this also. So as your examination, so though it may be descriptive type, though it may be MCQ type. So if descriptive type is there, 14 MCQs will be there. Okay. So small definition, from that MCQs are formulated. Okay. So write down linear velocity. Then write, it is rate of change of displacement, rate of change of linear displacement, sorry, rate of change of linear displacement of a body with respect to the time, with respect to the time. With respect to the time, rate of change of linear displacement of a body with respect to the time. Next, it is also vector quantity. Write down, since velocity is always expressed in a particular direction, therefore it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Okay. Next line you can write, V is equal to ds by dt. Okay. What is this? Yes, that is linear displacement, and t is nothing but the time. So what velocity indicates? What this linear velocity indicates? You can write, it designates or specify, it designate or specifies how fast and in what direction a point is moving. How fast and in what direction a point is moving. So already we have seen types of gears based on the peripheral velocity. There we have seen low velocity, medium velocity and high velocity. So for low velocity we have seen below 3 meter per second. High velocity, medium velocity between 3 to 15 and high velocity greater than 15 meter per second. So what it indicates? So then you can write unit meter per second. Then you can write another important term, angular velocity. Already figure we have drawn on the it is displayed on the previous slide as well as this slide also, right? It is rate of change of angular displacement of a body with respect to the time, with respect to the time. So you can write omega is equal to d theta by dt, d theta by dt. And what is unit for this? Radian per second. So this theta we need to put in radian, and time it is in the second. Next you can write speed and velocity. Next, speed and velocity, speed and velocity. Speed and velocity. Write down speed, the ratio of distance in a straight line or in a continuous curve, covered by a moving body to the time taken. To the time taken. To the time taken. So here distance, it is scalar quantity, and time is scalar quantity, and we are considering here ratio. That's why speed is scalar quantity. 10 kilometer or 10 kilometers covered in 1 hour. Understanding? 10 kilometer covered in 1 hour. Right? So what is distance? 10 kilometer. And what is time? 1 hour. So 10 kilometers per hour, that is speed. It is not rate of change of velocity, rate of change of displacement. So that is rate of change of displacement, that is nothing but the velocity. So write down this you have written speed, the ratio of distance in a straight line or in a continuous curve covered by a moving body to the time taken. So you can write this as well, since both distance, because it is very important, this difference is very important, this may be asked during campus interview. So you should understood, you should have proper understanding regarding speed and the velocity. Then you can write, since both distance traveled and time are scalars. Speed is scalar quantity. Here you can write rotational speed is measured. So this is one of the example. Rotational speed is measured by number of complete revolutions in a given time. In a given time. Revolution per minute, revolution per second. So while writing, you should read word by word whatever you have written. Rotational speed is measured by number of complete revolution in a given time. Revolution per minute, that we are writing RPM, that is speed. RPS, revolution per second, per minute, per hour, that indicate the speed. Okay. Unit, meter per second or RPM. मीटर पर सेकंड और आरपीएम. इथं कन्फ्युजन करून घेऊ नका. हे मीटर डिस्टन्स साठी आहे आणि टाइम सेकंड साठी आहे. सॉरी, टाइम साठी सेकंद वापरलाय आणि डिस्टन्स साठी मीटर हे युनिट वापरलं. अँड रिव्हॉल्युशन पर मिनिट. लिनियर स्पीड मीटर पर सेकंड and rotational speed revolution per second. Okay. Then write down velocity. Velocity is speed in a given direction. Speed in given direction. Speed in given direction. Speed in given direction. So suppose vehicle is running in west direction. 100 kilometers per hour. Then it is related to the velocity. And if that direction is missing, then you can consider it as a speed. So velocity is speed in a given direction. So if particular direction is given, then it becomes velocity. So write down velocity is speed in a given direction. And second point, for the second point you can write rate of change in position, rate of the change in position, or rate of change of displacement of a point with respect to specified reference frame of coordinates. And you can write magnitude as well as directions, magnitude as well as direction is needed for the complete specification of a velocity